building towers everywhere and taking the map. Let's see how this turns out. I expect Carnage to do a sneaky duck at some point, as he has done many times before.
So sneaky duck, and then you mean on the other side of the map, on like your
Yep,
opponent's pond?
on exactly. Just surprise triremes.
I mean, there is some
All right,
space here on the south of Zerton space, who is playing the Norse.
perfect spot. Yep, we have Zerton spawning as the Blue Norse on the left side of Mountain Crossing, and we have Carnage as the Red Greeks spawning on the right side. And as is standard these days, he is going for a dock as his first drop-off building for both wood and fish. But there's the resign by Zerton.
Yeah, Zerton doesn't have a hunt. Once we restart, should let me show you
Yeah.
guys.
Oof.
You
Yeah.
can.
Hashtag blame recon in the chat.
Yeah, we're gonna need some hashtag blame recon for this one.
Totally. Yes, Caspar, it's 50%. It's effectively 50% more damage. If I'm not wrong, the attack damage per hit is not does not change, but since you attack faster, your effective DPS is increased massively. 50% is no joke.
Yeah, so let me take this moment to thank Lakaum, or however you pronounce his name. He came in at the start of this long stream to show us how you pronounce his name, but I didn't quite remember that. You want to have a shot at pronouncing Lakaum?
Uh, Lacombe, Lacombe, Lacombe. No, it cannot be Lacombe.
Something
It's
like that.
probably more French. More
Anyway,
French.
thank the guy,
Lacombe.
thank him for organizing this tournament and for donating a lot
Mm,
to the
Merci
stream.
beaucoup.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Is it starting?
Now we're having some issues.
Okay. I'm gonna try.
Yeah, so
Yeah, we've had
Lakaum,
a
go ahead.
sure. Yeah, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Lacombe, what?
Well, he's organized a few tournaments in the past. This is the fourth Cup
Mm-hmm.
of Beer tournament, but the first three were all in the main game, so this is his first tournament in Celeste, and hopefully not the last. It's been interesting. He's brought a few new rules to the table in terms of the civilization and the map picks.
Very
How are you
interesting.
guys in the chat enjoying the things we're trying with the map bands and trying to show it graphically? Of course, big thanks to P2K for making all the graphics.
Yeah, I love doing AOYO graphics, so don't thank me. It's a pleasure. But once again, let's do the intros. We have a Zerton spawning as the Blue Norse on the left side, and we have Carnage spawning as the Red Greeks on the right side of Mountain Crossing. So already I see a difference between these two players' builds. Zerton does not go for a dock, rather he does go for a standard hunt and wood storehouse, where Carnage went for the dock, and is he using it for as a 2-for-1 dock? I think so. Can he reach that fish? He is, right?
With the villagers, you mean?
Yeah, yeah.
No,
Can
he's
can I
just
zoom?
gathering some wood next to it. So you guys, we are
Okay.
sharing our screen on Discord, and P2K has to watch a very low quality version because I don't have Discord Nitro. I'm not paying for
It's a
premium
scam,
services.
bro.
It's a scam.
Yes, it's a scam.
You had it right.
Yeah,
Is it any good?
my friend gifted it to me. I would
Ah,
never buy it. Yeah, I'm just enjoying free stuff. But
same.
yeah, same. Zerton already finding some goats, but Carnage is still gathering from the berries without a storehouse. So that makes me wonder if he just wants to use that 3 villagers on berries to sustain villager production long enough for him to just be able to sustain his food income from the fishing boats alone. And I don't think Zerton's build particularly signals aggressive play, but he does not have a dock. Oh, never mind. He does have the other pawn's dock, and that's excellent. I think one of the best approaches you can have is being aggressive as Norse against Greeks because they rarely push out to take map control. And even if they want to do that, it's hard for them.
Yeah, so
But
Optimal Acorn
interesting.
asked in the chat if Carnage won game one. No, the rules of the tournament say that the person coming from the winners bracket gets to have a one map advantage in the grand final. So we have arrived to the grand finals, and Carnage winning the winners bracket starts off with one map advantage. Yeah, I like this play as well by Zerton, going for a very early villager, and Carnage
Yeah.
will be surprised when his villager finds out because he has no idea that there's a dock already. There's even 2 fishing boats out
Yeah, and
already.
that poor Greek girl being 2v1'd by the Norse scouts, and even the fishing boat may also join 2 fishing boats. I think Carnage is going to be very surprised when he finds out. But at the same time, now he is checking the coastline for Zerton, and he sees no docks there. So he's not gonna be. Oh, now he is sending. That's a. Maybe that's actually Zert's plan. Wait for the scout of Carnage to pass by and then start making a dock there. So Zerton going full greed here.
What is this? There's a villager crossing the map, and there's a perfect pathway here. Are you thinking what
Yeah,
I'm thinking?
I'm sure it's the same thing. That villager trying to go for that surprise triremes, but Zerton smartly keeping his. Oh, is he gonna see it?
Oh no!
I don't think he is.
What a
Wow, this
sneaky
is
villager!
oh my god.
He
Yeah.
was just, he was, I mean, he is very aware of that this is a possibility. You just ran back with a scout. Scout is right here. Oh no, he's leaving.
Uh-oh. Yeah, those fishing boats are not gonna be having a fun time. But on the other side, Carnage already set up his fishing boat. Actually, can you check Carnage's coastline? Is he susceptible to getting proxy shipped? He is not. Okay, so the RNG gods favoring Carnage today in his map pawn spawn. Oh, but the melee scout, is he gonna check? Oh, he is. Okay, now Zerton is fully aware of that sneaky Greeky dog.
And Zerton quickly needs a house to get some population. He's building it with 4 villagers. He is completely
Uh-oh.
unprepared for this. He is sitting at 5 gold, and he needs, actually, he has enough gold for 1 long ship, but after that he's going to need a lot more. So Carnage's long ship
Yeah,
is
those
coming out. Actually, it's a trireme.
trireme, yes.
Should maybe target the villager.
Yeah, that fishing boat is probably not going to die anytime soon, but Zerton is totally out of gold. But there's the first long ship. Now these players look at their ships, and that fishing boat, what is it doing? Is it attacking? Yeah, the trireme of Carnage
I think the villager was
has
repairing it.
exactly the same stats. It has the same exact stats as the long ship, so it all comes down to micro at this point. Both players trying to dance their ship left and right to dodge the enemy ship's shots.
Yeah, and Zerton has to quickly transition his economy. As you can see, it's kind of falling apart now. He's got all these fishing boats gathering food, but he's not spending it yet because he's not able to place his town center because he has to spend his wood on these boats, and he
Yeah,
cannot
yeah.
lose this. It might even be a good idea for Carnage to go on this right side and just hit the wood line or deny the
Yeah,
gathering there for a
if
bit.
he can control this pond, that woodline of Zerton is gonna be in big trouble, and Carnage can even possibly start fishing from that pond.
And also very important, Carnage got his second town center up as his dock finished basically, and Zerton still doesn't have it. So even if Carnage doesn't manage to win the battle here on this water, he should be ahead in villagers by a lot. It's currently 31 against 29, so he's already up by 2.
Some godlike macro there by Carnage. equal number of ships, ahead in town centers, even ahead in ships now. The fourth long ship for Zerton almost out, but he needs to be careful. Oh, there's the first trireme going down for Carnage. Now it's 4-3, so he needs to be careful. Yikes. Triremes do have slightly bigger models, so longships have an easier time bobbing and weaving around, dodging shots. And yeah, Zerton just moving all of his longships at the same time while Carnage is taking the individual ship micro approach.
Looks like they're not
Which is
willing to
working
make.
for him.
Yeah, they're not willing to make any more ships. It's starting to get close.
Yeah.
Anything could happen at this point. Some very low boats on both sides. Certainly just queuing up another ship. I don't think Carnage is going to commit any further.
Yeah, can you check the villager count? Still 1-2, but the third longship is probably going to seal the deal for him here.
It's 41 for Carnage against the 34 for Zerton. So I think Carnage is making a lot of military at home. He just wants to keep Zerton investing in longships as much as possible. Actually making another ship himself.
Oh no, that trireme, if it comes out, then Carnage has officially accepted the fact that he needs to commit. And maybe he can. Let's see how it goes.
He's hitting the dock a bit. He could even use the villager to take down the dock. This villager is just standing idle there.
Yeah, that pickaxe that girl is carrying.
I would definitely hit this wood line now. Yeah, do it. Oh. Ouch, ouch. More, do it more. I mean, these villagers are still in range. Please hit this.
Damn. Yeah, so much damage. Terrible, terrible damage. And I wonder if you noticed the first military building that Carnage built was a stable. I wonder if he is going to H3 for some prodromos, because I cannot see Saris being too effective against Norse in H2.
That's a good point.
He is doing a fine job keeping Zerton occupied. And if he is trading ships 1 for 1, it's still not too bad for him, because the cost... Oh yeah, I mean Zerton is still committing to this, so
yeah,
well done by Carnage.
He can't lose this, so I mean we're getting to the point where Zerton is able to stabilize a bit, but look at his resources. He has over 2,000 resources in the bank. It's like he cleaned this up. He's now just going to H3 because he has so many resources, he needs to spend it somehow. He's also sitting at 45 villagers against the 54 for Carnage. So he...
God damn. Yeah, can you check the neutral pawn? Did Carnage make any effort into retaking?
No.
Okay. So Zerton does have that food income from there, but neither player has the fishing tech, I believe. So on these maps... Oh, he does have it. Okay, Zerton does. Here come the raiders.
So let's see what kind of military buildings he was making. He has 2 stables, 2 barracks. That's it for now. The raiders are going on the right side.
What do you think about throwing Axemen against Greek?
I'm not too sure. I think throwing Axemen they have to be in almost every composition for the Norse, so you can't really go around them. But maybe in H3 they kind of lose their value. Not quite sure.
Yeah, I mean, Greeks have an amazing anti-infantry composition in H2, so with Hypaspis and Toxotes both destroying infantry and throwing Axemen having no armor whatsoever, I would be a little worried making too many throwing Axemen against Greeks. But look at this, Carnage is just jamming in his army in the base of Zerton, and those raiders were trying to kill those villagers, but they got F2'd back to the middle of the map. I wonder if they have turned back by now, but Carnage putting a lot of pressure. Oh, they did turn back. Okay, nice.
Yeah, they're doing some damage. Yeah, there was an F2 for sure. Good. And Eerie is saying that it's going to be a big GG push by Carnage. It seems like Zerton is able to hold quite well. I mean, villager count
So
61 to 66. So Zerton crawling back into this game a bit. He killed a few villagers. He's holding off quite nicely. These Sari really are not doing. They're not doing a lot of
I
damage.
can't. Yeah, I don't get the Saris.
But I
Sure,
think
they
what
tank the TC fire.
uh, even more important is that Carnage, he had a bunch of high pacifists, but not many spearmen. I'm not sure if he even had any spearmen. So these raiders just stayed alive for so long.
Yeah, you do not want to take neutral trades with raiders if that makes any sense. You want to make a counter unit to them. You don't really want to, like you don't want to have fighting raiders, even though neither of counter each other. Raiders are so pop efficient that they win most one-on-one trades against non-anti-cav units.
Yeah, Carnage still making high pacifists. I'm not sure how I feel about this. There's one spearman on the field for him right now, and there's so many raiders. I mean, we just saw this one raider group die, but there's 14 raiders.
14, yeah,
And look
that's
at the queue for Zerton. It's just, how many stables does he have now? 3?
yeah, he's probably metagaming troller at this point. Everybody knows about his fundamental hate for raiders, and Zerton basically making only raiders as his material at this point.
And don't forget,
I'm pretty sure that. Yep. What's up?
he's H3 as well. He's now getting Raider champion,
Yeah.
Krong X-Men champion. He's building his third town center. He's even in population, and he's only 5 villagers
Yes,
behind now.
He won't be for a very long time. That's the third TC. But I think right now what Troller needs to do is he needs to get Spearman champion for the snare and the Pierce armor, and he needs to make something happen with his army. If he just lets Zerton run around the map and secure a map advantage, he's not going to be very happy about that, because eventually Zerton is going to set up a market line. Although, as I say that, I noticed that the third TC placement for Zerton is at the top of his base edge, or however you say that. So his market is going to be, yeah, exactly. What I would like to see here if he made his TC where his market is right now, and make his markets at the very top of the map, because with
Right over here.
yeah, because with Norse you definitely can get enough map control to sustain a full 150 gold trade route. But right now I think Certain can probably get 60, 80 at most per trip.
This is starting to become a scary army for Carnage. He transitioned into Spearman. He has 17 Spearmen now. Not yet champion. He's getting some armory upgrades. He's getting his third now. And he's going H4, so H3.
Oh, I was scared for a moment. It's H4
Got him.
already. Yeah, easy H4. But yeah, this is weird. Carnage, I'm not sure how I feel about this engagement. Those raiders, oh my god, so many raiders.
Oh, here comes the flank.
Wow.
Oh, and this is really bad for Carnage. He can't get out. He's trying to run away, but oh my god. This is horrible.
Decimation. Yeah, honestly, you should just stand there and kill as many units as you can, because there's no running away from. Just look at the numbers here. This is Carnage is getting zerged by Zerton here. Just the sheer number of units on the field right now, especially since Raiders are only one population. We got so many of them.
Yeah, just as Zerton was hitting full 180 population, Carnage pushed in. And he was also aging at the same time, so I think waiting for these champion upgrades and waiting for this third town center may have been a better idea in hindsight. Look at this massive army by Zerton.
It's absolutely massive, but in Troller's defense, most of this army is melee. So if he can limit the surface area at which they engage to a small choke point, very like the movie 300, my least favorite movie of all time. If you can limit the fight to a melee, all of those raiders won't be as overwhelming. But Yeah, this is not looking so good for Carnage right now.
Yeah,
Little
Zerton just
mistakes
fighting
in
with
this.
half his army. The other half is hitting this town center, and he can just afford to do so. It's oh, let's see, it's 40 population ahead.
Yeah.
Well, 50.
Really not sure. Really not sure about those two attacks that Carnage did to Zerton's base, just sitting under his TC and firing away. Like he wasn't really killing too many either, because Greeks are not good at killing TCs, especially not with their H2 army. And he also had Saris in the mix. Not sure why, but
I wouldn't be
yeah, that's
surprised to see a fortress for Zerton very soon. You could build them with this throwing axeman. He has 24 of them.
yeah, yeah. One of the biggest advantages of the Norse. One of the key things that makes them the most offensive civilization in the entire game. Being able to build with military units. And look at this huge group of champion raiders just running around. Those villagers are not long for this world, and neither are those two poor donkeys. They are never gonna eat that carrot.
5 Prodromus are going to defend, but there's, I mean, 25 raiders. You can easily take them on. Trying to break out of this triple layer wall now.
Not happening though. Yeah.
Well,
Carnage is still holding on, I guess. He is okay on armor upgrades, so there's that for him. But
well, he has 3, and Zerton is currently getting his, I think, 5th and 6th one. So
here's
creeping ahead.
Carnage. Interesting. How many bowmen does he have? Certain.
27, so
Okay, okay,
respectable amount.
definitely enough. Yes.
Here's the fortress, also denying this gold here, where Carnage, I think Carnage is kind of having a gold problem soon. 800 gold
Yes, he
left.
lost his 30C. His 30C was built next to a gold mine. It died. Yeah, where the storehouse is. And now he's getting pressured by Zerton on the other gold mine. What is he building with those villagers?
Markets.
Okay.
So all his caravans died. He also doesn't have the best 30C placement. I would have preferred a
Yeah.
placement like Zerton had on top. Let's see what Zerton is getting. 71 gold. Also not the greatest.
Yeah. Yeah. It's probably better to have a market at the very top of the map when you are the aggressor. Patch on this map, I mean. But yeah, Zerton just securing all the gold spots. So as people remember from the previous streams too, Zerton is very good at just paying attention to his opponent's gold mines, always denying them. And there's no way that Carnage can break this defense, this fortress with the army that he has. He needs rams. He's never going to break through this position with the army that he has without suffering extreme losses, I think.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about this push out. He is targeting the fortress now. Zerton was going to H4. Immediately queues up a lock thrower, which I don't think will happen during this fight, but he's just ahead in upgrades and he already is winning this fight really hard. So it's looking very, very good for Zerton, and Carnage is not going to wait for the siege. He's just going to tap out. So GG.
Yeah, there's the GG. Yeah.
So very nice game. With I really like the duck on the right side or the left side.
Absolutely, yes. All the back and forth emotional roller coaster, back pawns. First, that villager uh, getting wrecked by the two Norse scouts. Then the other female villager getting this sneaky dock up.
So how do you feel about how Zerton played this match?
Honestly, I think this is like this game is more about the decisions Carnage made. I mean, rather than how well Zerton played it, because Carnage did a few things really well. He was uh on point with his macro for a while. He got his second TC up, got his
Ahura Master bless you.
the sneaky Dark Op made Zerton ships back in his base, but a few things that I want to point out is how he made stable as his first production building in Greek versus Norse, and he made Sari Sophoroi in H2 against an army that had literally no ranged units and no building to make ranged units, and he attacked Zerton's base twice and simply sat under the TC of Zerton, and it didn't really accomplish much.
Yeah, that's a good point. Both in composition and maybe also in timing of attack. Let's take a look at the stats for this game. Carnage ahead in villagers for most of the game actually. He had a very strong start, and it kind of feels like a throw for him actually. That well, after doing so well on the left side and almost killing all these villagers here, to lose the game. So look at this. Carnage only at 7 techs to the 29 of Zerton. Wow. 254 units killed against 119.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Actually, there's a big difference here. Do you know what this means when it says Zerton lost 138 units, but Carnage only killed 119?
I mean, there are some units alive. Oh wait, Zerton lost more units than Carnage killed.
Exactly.
There must be some very angry lions. I'm not sure.
Or maybe he deleted some units of his own. I guess it's also a
Yeah, maybe.
possibility.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah.
Right, and Zerton just gathering so much more. It's actually pretty weird. I guess the water is just really strong. I'm not sure how this happened. I think we kind of have part of the answer here. That Carnage just had so many idle villagers. I mean, Zerton's doing a pretty good job throughout this game. I think Zerton's the leader. Alright, let's get into the next game. So Carnage losing this map, he was he could pick the next map. And he picked Treasure Island for the next map and decided to go
Nice.
for his Celts. So check your Discord.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're just waiting for Zerton to come back. He's going to the toilet. So what would you pick? So Zerton, he just won the game, so he cannot play Norse again.
Yeah.
He knows he's playing against Carnage Celts on Treasure Island. What civilization would you go for?
Egypt. I would do Egypt. Because they can keep up with the Celts on land, and you can get a dock up. You mean you would rather avoid playing Persia against Celts for sure, especially on a map where the Celt can just get water and get the advantage. So if I had to choose, I would either mirror his Celt with my own, or I would go for Egypt if I was certain here.
Yeah, I think that's probably what we can expect.
Yeah, Zerton's also pretty good with Egypt, his main civilization. So
That's not what he's going to play because he's actually going for the Celts. Interesting choice here.
So Celt mirror. How do you like to play Celt mirror?
Uh,
Especially after the change to the slingers.
yeah, I mean, Well, I think Celt Mirror was always very longsword heavy, and even when the slingers were a bit stronger than they are currently, I always prefer just mass longswordsmen. Especially, I guess, on
Mhm.
some maps that are a bit more choky, then you could mix in a few more uh, slingers. That is. But now would just like I just love the Celt Mirror in the sense that I mean just mass
Just for the
longswordsman,
mass
mass
logs.
raiding. You just in terms of macro, you're just making the same unit. You don't have to think a lot, so you kind of because you don't have to think about what units to make as much, you can make a lot more plays in terms of raids, and that's usually how we see these Celt Mirrors
Yes.
play out.
Yeah, that's very good. I mean, that's a good point because you leave like 5 villagers on wood or extra houses and extra barracks and sacred groves, and then just rally everybody to food and gold and just mass villagers and longswordsmen. 50 food per villager, 30 food, 30 gold for longswordsmen, and that's it. Just select all that barracks and smash that S button all the time.
So I guess the most standard mirror is on a land map if you have like equal footing. But now we're playing on Treasure Island. So what do you think about this aspect of the game where if you also have water on in a Celt v Celt?
Yeah, so the initial stage of CVC is volatile, and it comes down to who can get some spearmen out and be on the aggressive. But you don't want to make too many spearmen because, as I said on a previous stream, Celts always want to make a lot of spearmen in H1 because other civs have
Blessings
to
upon you.
make
Still
spearmen of
here,
their own
baby.
to
Let's
defend
do
against
this.
it, and Celts don't have spearmen in H2. I mean, Cav in H2, so it's good that they keep on making spearmen. But the one matchup that you don't want to make too many spearmen in as Celt is when you're facing another Celt player. And we'll see how this plays out. Who It's a game of chicken to see who stops making spearmen first and tries to transition into an H2 composition with longswordsmen. But I think getting water here is extremely important because most of the units that you will be making in this matchup cost food. Spearmen, villagers, longswordsmen, all cost food. So if you can get the water for yourself, it's gonna be a good day for you. But let's do the intros. We have Zerton spawning as the blue Celts on the bottom left side, and we have oh
Going for restart again. So
okay,
Carnage does not like his spawn. No
sure,
further explanation.
yep, one restart per series. So
So we also just got a $30 donation by BB Gambini.
again, okay, nice. That's a nice amount of donations we got from him today. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks a lot. We're getting there towards the ambitious goal of $1,000 Roman tournament. I mean, in the
Pompeii and
meantime,
Crassus are
yeah,
proud.
we're still thinking about whether it's a good idea to put it all in one tournament or maybe spread it out a little bit more. But once we get closer to the Roman release dates, we
Hmm.
should discuss that a little bit. What do you guys think? Should we have like one big tournament just
Yeah,
to have the big hype of the Romans amplified, or maybe spread it out a bit?
yeah. Let's hear what people have to say as we get into this game once more. It's
All
connecting
in due time.
all in due time. Soon TM.
So speaking of the Romans, is there any update you can give us?
Oh yes, Happy Smurf is done with his school for this semester, so he's back on work, working on the next Roman unit that We are very excited to show you guys. I think the first blog after the winter event goes live will be showcasing this unit. It's one of a defining units for the Roman civilization, and it's gone under so many revisions, design changes since we started working on the civilization, and the one that we have now may even change.
So
But we
how big
cannot
of
wait to see.
design changes are we talking then? Can you give us an
It's
idea?
still it's still a human, so I mean it's not gonna change to another living creature. I mean I don't really want to spoil it, but the core of the unit is gonna be the same, but the details surrounding it are subject to change. But right now
Uh,
I think we got it down
gotta
pretty
be more
good.
specific than that.
Um, yeah. How much do you want me to be specific without spoiling the whole unit? I cannot give away too much info. Andy Pierce is gonna kill me. But it's a Roman unit. It's the one that we've been teasing for so long. It's an H2 unit that is also available in H1 as a one-off, very similar to the Egyptian priestess of Ra, but I cannot give more info than that
That's
without.
unfortunate. So some people responded in the chat in terms of the tournament. Um, Crimson Cantab said it's a tough question. Zealot AU says that we won't be releasing Romans again. So Tangrel says maybe both or a big tourney. Not sure what he means
Yeah,
by
maybe
both.
maybe 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 like a 700-300 split, but let's see how things uh, turn out by then. Spoilers, please. Yeah, I told you it's a Roman unit, and it costs one pop most likely, and food and wood. Hmm.
I mean, the advantage of having a larger prize pool is that it can maybe attract some players from outside of the AOEO community to have
Yes, yes.
to try their luck on winning it all or winning a large amount of money.
We could have a like some sort of qualifier even depending on how many people sign up. Yeah. What's going on here?
Yeah, we're just trying to get this game to launch, guys. Stay
Mm-hmm.
tuned. In the meantime, if
Stay
you have
tuned.
any more questions about the Romans, now it's your time to, to ask.
Yes.
Killa says everything helps.
Everything helps. Let's see. Let's have an overview. Which Roman units have we Oh, Kilakali was talking about a totally different thing. Streams or hookers? N- Oxcar 2.0? No, it's not an Oxcar. I told you it's a human. It's a human with you know, human stuff.
I mean, I'm not sure what
Less
to say.
RNG?
I don't think we're
Less
going to
RNG.
don't think we're going to get more information, guys. And I also have good news in the that we got the game to
Yes, finally.
place already. So here we are, Treasure Island again. Um, last time we got a restart because the hunts were bad, but this time it looks pretty solid for both players. Immediately finding their hunt, and I think Zerton is going for the trees close to his base to get a fast barracks, and Carnage has a slightly different approach in that he is sending his first villagers to this close hunt. So,
Yeah.
which approach do you prefer?
I mean, you, I think if you should always be the aggressor.
Blessings
And
upon
Zerton's
you.
definitely
Great,
going
Trini. Good
for
job.
super, super, super fast barracks here. Literally, the only way he could have gotten it faster was if he used his entire 200 starting wood to make a barracks. But Carnage is gonna be on the defensive here due to his build. His barracks has not even started, and he is building it outside TC range. So this can be a pivotal decision, and Zerton sees it. So the outer edge of this barracks will not be able to be protected by the town center of Carnage. So if Zerton can somehow overwhelm Carnage's spearman count and just attack the barracks, it's not going to be easy for him to defend. But it seems that he is electing to. Oh, never mind. He changed the rally point on his barracks because initially he had it behind his TC, but now he's just sending it over to the other side of the map.
Right, so of course we're playing on Treasure Island, the Spaniards' favorite map, but of course the island with the treasure on it. Hopefully we get to see that this game. Also, Libo donating $5. Thanks a
Very
lot
nice.
for
Thank you very
supporting.
much.
It's one step closer to this big tournament we're talking about. And Zerton is not making his wood storehouse. I'm not
Yeah.
sure how I feel about this. He's making a house before it. He's actually
I mean,
going
he just wants to jam in those spearmen in Carnage's face.
very nice. Scouting out the second hunt by Carnage. So let's see where he's sending his spearmen. I think they're going for the second hunt. Because his first hunt is being protected by Carnage's spearmen. He's just going to
Yeah, I
sneak
mean,
around.
what we need to keep an eye on is the coastline to see if Zerton decides to leverage his aggressive stance in this matchup to make an early dock because, well, there they are, the spearmen of Carnage trying to defend the storehouse, and I think he can shoo away these spearmen. But looking back at Zerton's base, he is still making spearmen, so no sign of. Actually, yeah, okay, he did queue up one more spearman, so no sign of either player stopping spearman production just yet.
Well,
And
actually, I think Carnage is he's already built his 3 houses. He's almost at the 300 food, so I think he's looking to age pretty quickly. Just
yeah, and
barely has enough food.
he is making a stone storehouse. So what's your opinion on the like getting a fast TC or not in Kelp Mirror?
I think it's very important. I think it's also quite a safe option. I mean, on this map you can also go for a duck like Zerton is doing, which is a bigger
So
risk.
which is better?
I think
Uh-huh.
so far in this tournament we've seen a lot of players go for an early duck here and have some fight for the water, kind of like how this map was played originally. There was a period after that where people just went for a fast town center and played it safe. But I kind of like Zerton's approach more. I think on every map where there is water, you don't want to give it away to your opponent.
Yeah, I think that in this particular matchup, I would personally prefer. Oh, there's the dock by Carnage. Okay, so he is going a dock and a TC. Is Zerton gathering any stone? I cannot see the resources very well. Is
Zerton is
he
not
actually
gathering
gathering
stone.
from berries? Ooh,
He is getting from his
okay.
berries. He just got knocked off his hunt. I mean, Carnage,
Ooh.
despite actually he's not aging earlier. It looked like he was aging early, but he kind of got some troubles with his food because his hunt store was his hunt ran out. But he does have a large spearman force. He has 10 against the 8 for Zerton.
Oh yeah. Uh, and now he is in H2,
Zerton
and
immediately getting Hansa. Very nice.
yeah, making up for that great game.
So Zerton knows about this dock by Carnage, but
He
the
does.
other way around, Carnage did not scout this dock for Zerton yet. Zerton does have
He
some
will.
longswordsmen out now, so he will be able to scare away these spearmen.
Yeah, it's especially tough when you have a mix of spearmen and longswordmen because the spearmen will just snare the units and then the longswordmen will catch up and bring in the pain. But Wow, look at this. So Carnage absolutely cannot afford to lose this spot, making a dock and a TC there. But if he manages to secure this spot, he's gonna be in an excellent spot here. But there's the oh my god, this swan ship. What's the progress on that TC?
Oh
Oh lord,
no.
this can be an absolute disaster if Carnage can. Oh no, Zerton sees the TC. Is he gonna right click on the villagers? Oh my god, that is
No, he has to cancel it, I think. There's no way this is going up.
such a risky move. Yikes, yikes, yikes. Well, in Carnage's defense, Zerton does not have a TC going up yet. Yeah, he does cancel that TC.
Yeah,
But that is
smart
a
move there.
massive blow to his.
Well, I did minimize his losses there, getting away with the 5 villagers. He lost
Yes,
only
yes.
1, but he did lose the water. He's actually going to fight for it now as well. So, Zerton still not getting stone. There was a small raiding party, but I think they didn't get much done.
I think I see a second dock for Zerton. No.
Oh, you're right, yeah.
Yeah. So why would he make a second? Can make 4 villagers at a time. And like I said earlier, in this match, you wanna. Oh, look at that! That swan ship for Carnage looks so cool. Even though the stats are exactly the same,
So
it just looks
Zerton thought he already won the water and he's comfortably making lots of fishing ships, but Carnage is
that missed rally too.
trying to give the impression that he's going for the water. I think this is just a ship to force some more military boats from Zerton. Zerton does not have vision on the dock of Carnage, so he does not know if Carnage is making more ships or not. So it doesn't
Yeah,
look
and
like.
he's kind of forced to respond. If he doesn't kill this one ship, he's gonna wreck all of these. A point I was making earlier, which cut my. Um, in this matchup, you make a lot of food-heavy units, and if you have water, you can make so much more units than your opponent. Oh, that one fishing boat already goes down, so that's a decent trade for Carnage. He's now making his TC on literally the opposite side of the place he was initially building it, but he is still ahead. I mean, in terms of TC construction time, but he does not have water like Zerton does right now, so he needs to be careful.
And Zerton has a lot of fishing boats already. He's sitting at 4 fishing boats now, 5 even, and he's sitting at 37 villagers against the 32. So up 5 villagers, and they're all fishing boats. And these fishing boats they gather quickly.
Yes. So he does have a lot of resources spent on swan ships, but yeah, it's looking pretty good for Zerton here. Even getting an armory, very nice. So what's the first upgrade you would get in CVC? I know you and I have talked about this before, but I would like to restart this conversation.
I think I still like melee attack over melee armor.
Uh-huh. And why?
Just because melee attack not only benefits you in fights against other units, they also benefit you in raiding.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
I think if you just considering pure fighting of a longswordman against longswordman, then the armor is better.
Yeah. Well, in certain spot, I think he is just content sitting at his base and just macroing up. So it's probably better for him to get the armor just to be able to defend since he's not going to be raiding. But as I say that, he splits some longswordsmen, which I believe were going to be raiding, but they took a break and did not move further. But and
the second town center of
Carnage
him
is sitting.
is
Yeah,
adjacent to
literally.
his first town center. Interesting
Did he
placement there.
rotate it? I hope he rotated it.
I don't think he did.
One of the prettiest things you can do with town centers is making 3 of them rotated back to back, especially with the square TCs like Babylon and Greek and Egypt and Romans, of course.
So Zerton asserting some dominance on the map. He's making some watch posts. He's got a small raiding force. There's even some spearmen in here, which will do nicely snaring.
There. But yeah, those units are gonna be very happy. Yeah, nice job by Zerton, securing the coastline. I wonder if he's gonna use patrol hotkey to make sure he never loses sight of any spot on the beach.
Yeah, looks like he's not quite
Because
patrolling, which I think. I mean, the patrol hotkey was. I think it was fixed right a few months ago.
yes, it was brought back,
So it's kind of
and
hard for these old school players to get that into their system because they've been
I
playing for so
agree.
long
I
without it.
agree.
But it's really
Yeah,
good to just
even
patrol. Yeah.
yes, even I would most likely forget it. You know, when you playing in a game of this level, you're mostly relying on your muscle memory and your your instincts, and the patrol hotkey is not part of my instinct set. So
But look at this vision from Zerton. He has these watch posts everywhere.
everywhere,
He
yes,
has a
nothing
concave of
moves.
watch posts.
Yeah, that vision on the map is superb. And what about the armory? Okay, Troller getting melee attack first, and Zerton, did he have any upgrades yet in his armory?
Yeah, so they're both getting melee
Same.
attack.
Zerton has a second armory though. He has not used it yet. It was next to the other one.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, Troller has Bard Hall. That's very nice. And he didn't get any upgrades yet, but I hope he will get the bonus health upgrade soon. Does either of them have any druids yet? I think I saw some for Carnage.
Yeah, Carnage actually healed some of those damaged villagers from earlier back up.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly actually
Yeah,
making a guard tower. It's very interesting.
those um those villagers have seen some tough times, man. They survived the onslaught of so many arrows from that swan ship, and then they had to make the TC on the other side of the map, and now they're healed back to full. But yeah, those guard towers. I mean, is Zerton expecting some sort of base trade
Well, he's
from
going to
Carnage?
H3 right now. So
Uh
it's
huh.
it's a very interesting approach. I think he's going to go for long swordsman champion in H3. I mean, he is maxed right now, and he is expecting this push from Carnage, who kind of wants to fight before H3. It seems. Ooh, cleaning up his units on the right side or left side. Very nice. So just
Yeah,
as the
Carnage's
H3 hits,
longsword pretty dope. Yeah, look at all of these guard towers, and yeah, Troller probably cannot break into this base, but he can definitely kill that barracks. That barracks is not long for this world, but I think it's very bad for Troller to stay inside the base. I mean, it's even two TCs, two H3 TCs literally next to each other, and some towers. And oh, and certain quickly moving away those stone miners before they get destroyed by the longswordsmen of Carnage. But this I'm not sure about. He needs to get this tower and run. Yeah, this he does not want to make the same mistake he did last game on Mountain Crossing, where he just sat under the TC of Zerton and lost so many units.
yeah, it's a good point. So there's a small window here for Zerton where his long swordsman champion is finished, and Carnage is only now getting it. So there's slight upgrade advantage. That being said, Carnage just has a Bard Hall, which he's getting 5% more damage, 5% more health. He's actually sending a raiding group over here.
What about the water? What's going on the water?
So Zerton got the first upgrade for his fishing boats. He has about 10, I think. He's making some more ships, hoping to see
I
some
think that
merchant
last
transports
one.
later.
Exactly, yes. I think that last one is for that. But look at these longswordsmen. They want to see the edge of the world. Look at this. I mean, nice distraction, but on the other side of the map, oh my god, this is gonna be huge. What do you think is gonna be Carnage's response to this? Is he gonna go for a base trade? I don't think he
I'm starting to
can.
think that this is maybe a scenario that Zerton had in mind when he was building all these towers.
Yikes, yeah. Now he's attacking all the production facilities of Carnage, and he needs to go back, and all are suddenly slowing his army down so much. But he is making a defensive fortress. If it gets up, then Carnage has a good shot at holding it. But Zerton is noticing the fortress immediately and probably does not want to let it go up.
So it's taking a long time for these units to go all the way back home because there are 3 druids here slowing down the army. And this fortress does not
Yes.
get up. Actually, town center goes
TC.
down. Oh my god, this is going so well for Zerton right now. Look at the population
Yeah.
for Carnage. Down by so much, and now we have 66 against 65. And I think Controller has Carnage has a slight armory advantage. Actually, the difference is that...
Oh, but look at this, the army of Zerton coming in from behind and
oh no.
druids and denying all that sustained healing from the druids that they were providing for Carnage, and now it's looking super good for Zerton.
It's looking insane. Yeah, 65 against just 20. He had the Bard Hall upgrades, but he didn't have as much armory as Zerton had, and he just has to tap out. So can Zerton do it, coming all the way from the losers bracket, putting Carnage on match point? Oh my god.
GG.
He's just one game away
Yeah.
from winning this. Very nice. He's I mean, he's very good at CBC, Zerton.
Nicely done by Zerton.
So Zerton now can't play his Norse or his Celts.
Yep.
Right, so I'll have them figure out what they will want to play. Let's take a quick look at these stats. So very equal game, and I think the story of the game is that Zerton just capitalized on his water advantage really well. Just
That
now,
one swan ship is the MVP of this game. I think he got deleted at the end in favor of getting population spots, but for the time that he was alive, he was absolute MVP of this match by denying that TC for Carnage for so long, and just letting Zerton just get on the water, fish away all he wants.
yeah, so how important do you think that that one sponsorship was, and denying that town center there?
It was the only thing that denied that town center, so I think it was pretty pivotal. And those villagers, if they managed to build that TC up, like if that swan ship came maybe 25 seconds later, then that TC would have been up, and then Carnage would have had a very fair shot at securing water, because ships do a lot of damage, but they don't do a lot of damage to buildings. But that was some unfortunate timing for Carnage there, losing that TC, having to gather stone all over again. Well, not fully, but still delaying his TC by a long time.
So as you can see here, Zerton was only slightly ahead in army, and I think the upgrades were quite similar. But I think it's mainly also the play of the base trades. The decision. What do you think about the
Yes.
decision from Carnage to run back his army across the map?
I think that was not the best way to deal with that situation, especially because he was keeping his druids in his army. Like, one thing he could have done perhaps is to shift click the druids away so the longswordsmen start getting there, and then druids come in later. But he just got sandwiched by the army of Zerton anyway. Not sure how it would have went without the druids. Yeah, I mean, very nice decision by Zerton to make those guard towers in his base, because he probably predicted such a situation in the first place.
Yeah, that
Well
would be
done
really
by
smart
him.
if he saw this maybe happening, or maybe it was even his plan to just catch Carnage off guard and cross the map. So let's see what's going on here. So next map is going to be inland. Carnage picked this map and also wants to play Celts on this, and Zerton goes to his Egypt because he can't play Celts or
Ah.
Norse.
Yeah, that's what I would have expected. I'll be back in like 1 or 2 minutes, so please take away the show while I'm gone. I'll be right back.
Alright guys, who is hyped for this potentially final game? So Zerton and Carnage, they met each other once. Let me just pull up the brackets once more. If you look at the top in what was it, round 2, a very close series between Zerton and Carnage. If you haven't watched that, would recommend watching that back on the official YouTube channel. It was a really crazy game. There were mountain crossing, and in the end, Carnage managed to pull through and beat Zerton 2-1. And now they meet again. Zerton fighting his way through the losers bracket, beating Spaniard, Striker, Eerie, Vindicator as well. To now be in this final. But I mean, Zerton has already won a few tournaments. And it was looking for a bit like it was Carnage's first tournament win in Project Celeste, but he will have to win 2 games in a row for that to happen. So first of all, he will have to hold his own on this inlands map. So I'm kind of looking out for whether the map is balanced. The ponds are a bit towards Zerton's side, but overall I think it's not a reason to restart. So this map was a map that was played in the original game. Actually only at the very start of the original game, just after it was released. And after a while they removed this map from the map pool because well, sometimes it would spawn with 3 lakes on one side of the map and it was just unfair. But now we have Recon, #BlameRecon, who is fixing all our maps for us and released a better, improved version of this map, which is just amazing, I think. So we've seen this map played a few times. We've seen Zerton play a few times. I think Zerton really likes to make a dock here. I think this villager is going to make a dock. And actually, Carnage going for the same thing. Not sure where this villager is going. Actually, look at this heart-shaped pond. This pond is to express my love for Lacaume and for the rest of you. And I guess for PF2K, for co-casting with me. So I would say it's also quite a difficult map to play because well, there's so many ponds you can build the dock on. You don't want to invest too much on the water because you might lose on the land and then lose the game as a result of it. But you also don't want to have your opponent build a lot of fishing boats.
Hello, I'm back.
Yo. So in the chat,
What's going on?
Kaban is asking, we're talking about inlands, and he's asking when was this map updated. I think it was a few months ago, right? When this map was reintroduced. 4 months ago?
Yes. This map went it underwent changes. Let me take up the log.
So we have a heart-shaped pond, and here we have a Mickey Mouse pond. So
yes.
Carnage prefers the Mickey Mouse pond. He's actually going for double pond.
So let's see. Last time inland was fixed was October 5th, I believe.
Oh,
So it's been a while.
I would say it's
Yeah.
pretty recent actually that this map has been in the map pool. But if you look at some very old videos of Age of Empires Online on YouTube, you will see this map. And I think what Recon did is just look at the videos from there and have it resembled, have this map resemble it as closely as possible, but in a balanced way.
Yes.
So Erie says he remembers playing this map in June.
No. He asked about updates to the map, not when the map was actually introduced. For that,
Ah,
I can dig up the
right. So what
what
was
was it?
updated in this map then?
I think some minor fixes by Recon. Hashtag praise Recon.
Wait, that's
But
not how I remember this hashtag going.
yeah, that's another hashtag.
Right, so let's talk
Spawn.
about this game a bit while you look up the official information. So Zerton is going for town center first. Is looking like a very boomy game. No barracks or anything at all. We have Carnage on a Mickey Mouse pond here. And oh, this is an interesting play. I don't think Zerton will be able to get this dog up because Carnage is
No.
scouting this. And,
Yeah,
he's
totally.
sending in
Look at
the
this immediately. Yeah, send and release the fishing boat.
this fit,
Oh my god.
and I
Yeah.
don't think he can make it. Oh, it's actually one shot away from, or actually 3 shots away from dying. Oh, but here's an interesting
Billy the
situation.
villager. Oh, look at this. Both of the players are aware. Oh, actually, no. Zerton is aware of the other dock, but Carnage is not. Yeah, game of docks here, basically. So let's see.
So I'm not sure if both players know about this this bottom pond, which kind of belongs to Zerton, I would say.
One moment.
So it looks like we'll be having a water battle in this middle pond, which is perfect. So Carnage a bit later on his town center. He's sitting at 28 villagers to the 27, so it looks like he invested a bit more in these ships. It's actually 150 wood sitting here.
Yeah, that's dead wood there. And now he is using the fishing boats to kill this villager too. Very nice usage of fishing boats by Carnage and this trireme. Okay, now it's a 1v1 fight. Trireme versus Swan Ship. Who wins? If you don't move your ships, Swan Ship wins automatically. Both players starting to micro their boats. And while we do that, my inland spotlight graphic on my PC says July 16th, so somewhere around that time was the release date of the map.
So just a few maps. So some people have been playing on some of the maps. I mean, have been played on for months. I mean, for years.
Yes.
And this is quite a new map.
It is, yes.
So
We have quite a few new maps thanks to Recon. This is one of them. This is an old classic resurrected. Oh, but look at this. These players are serious about this pawn. And now we have this Swan ship being surrounded by the triremes, and Carnage seems to be giving up this pond. He does have another pond, I believe, under control already.
Yes, it looks like Carnage just cancelled this one ship he had in queue. And Zerton is making some fishing boats from this now. So Zerton, sitting at the 2 ponds. Not sure if he knows about this pond. He did try to make docks in both the ponds, which belong to Carnage now. So the Carnage has a few more fishing ships. He's sitting at 6 to only 4 for Zerton almost. And Carnage is actually going to H3. He's making
nice.
3 barracks and an archery range. And Zerton.
Hall.
Is he making a Bard Hall?
Carnage is really on
Oh, it's a
point
Bard
with his
Hall.
upgrades. Yes.
It's not an
I
archery
noticed
range.
it from the icon. Yeah. Is he gonna go for Woats? What do
Yeah,
you think he's gonna do?
yeah. I think this means lots of boat raiders.
Nice.
Perfect.
Woats in the chat.
I was already typing it.
Yes.
So we have lots of stables for Zerton and an armory. And I wouldn't be
That's
surprised if
good.
he's going to H3 as well. It's actually quite good for Carnage.
There's nothing coming out of the Egyptian stable that can deal with the Woad Raider. So it's pretty good for Carnage, yeah, and he does kill that. I think actually, you know what do you think about this when I say that killing that dock was worse for Carnage because he gave the wood back to Zerton. He should have just let it stay there at 1 HP forever. It's just 150 HP in the void,
Yeah, exactly.
not being
I think
used.
I agree. But also, in this last series between Zerton and Carnage, we had a raid by Carnage, and because of the raids, Zerton realized he had 2 villagers stuck, so he's kind of doing a favor to him. And
Yes,
actually,
yeah.
Zerton he tried again, and he succeeded now. And also on this other pond, he got a duck up, and there's no
Yeah.
response from Carnage. He's making some
He is
woads.
repairing this one. He is repairing this one though. And now he's also making the. Oh, look at this. Zerton just making ponds. I mean, docks in every pond.
But I
Is
think he's
Carnage
just.
gonna see that?
I don't think Carnage can keep up. He could have just killed this with his fishing boats, but now it's too late. He
It
sees it
is.
now, but
Yeah.
he has to make a swan
Maybe
ship
he's gonna
here.
send the boats. Yeah, he is. He cannot afford to lose this one.
He's completely giving up on the other pond. He did make a third town center here. He's H3. He's going for the mass votes.
What is Zerton doing? Is he H3 too? I
Zerton
can't
just
quite
got
see.
Zerton just got H3. He's getting X-Men champion. He's got 2 barracks now, and it
Uh-huh.
looks like he's going for a lot of camels.
Yeah, and now those camels are putting some pressure on the villagers of Carnage, who is also making caravans already. That's very nice. Okay, he did kill this dock with his boat raiders, so he has successfully defended that pond. But let's see how this turns out. So the boat raiders of Carnage are now moving around the map. He did make some stables, so I think he's going for this Woad Raider, Horseman, Druid, Bowman composition. Does he have any Sacred Groves actually?
Actually, I don't think he does. But he does have this
We
market
don't.
line going, which I think we can see
Is that
soon how much it will bring.
I say 105.
110. 95.
How much is it?
95.
Okay,
I already
I
incorporated the
win.
upgrades. No, I was talking with the upgrade, of course.
Okay, okay. You beat me. Um, so where are the Woad Raiders for Wow? Where are the
For Wout,
for Rouse? There they are.
it's
Um,
everywhere.
yeah, I think Carnage needs to be active with them because he does not want to have a head-on fight with the champion Axeman if he can help it. He wants to tear apart the Egyptian and just force him to split his units around and take advantage of the 9 speed of the Void Raiders. But let's see.
I
Yep.
think what I'm noticing across these games that these players could do a bit of a better job placing their third town center. I'm not sure how I feel about this town
Yeah.
center by Zerton. I really like this play by Carnage, but I think he could even make it a bit further because
Yeah, maybe where he is gathering wood now to
with
the TC.
yeah with the market nerf, it's just so much more important to place your town centers as far away as possible. And
Correct.
even if
Yeah.
they don't serve as a storehouse immediately or as a bad storehouse, it's
In
probably
the
worth
long
it.
run,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So there are 2 horsemen here. Actually, there's a lot more horsemen here to defend. And
Yeah.
these camels are getting walled in a bit.
Yeah, now Carnage adding in more stables.
Fortifying the
Do
wall.
you think is he gonna go for fast H4 maybe? He does have a lot of gold from what I can see. Those caravans are
I'm not sure. He's actually kind of down in population. Zerton is currently maxed. I guess it's also because of these ponds. Certain.
and Axemen.
Should,
How many Axemen does he have?
that's a good point. Cheaper units. 25 X-Men.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's only slightly ahead in villages. Actually, now he's behind.
Yeah, so the longer this goes, the better it is for Carnage.
There's some more X-Men here on the side, but I think this is kind of a scary moment for Carnage, where Zerton is pushing across the map. He's maxed. Should also be checking the armory upgrades.
Yeah, so the Egyptians do have the luxury of having their armored tech lines combined, so you can afford to be slightly layer with Europe because you can get one tech to get the benefit of both. It's a unique trait to the Egyptians. But now Zerton's mustering up his army, gathering his units from everywhere, and then probably trying to push in Carnage's base. And I expect Carnage to set up a concave here, so when Zerton pushes in, he flanks and gets a good engage. But where is his army?
There's
Is that
really
all
not a
his
lot of
army?
units here. There's some Woats on the side of Zerton, but he's taking a fight here with a lot less units. He has a lot of horsemen
Okay.
coming in from the back, okay, but I'm not sure if he has enough.
Both players are using their priests to heal up their army. That's very nice. I think ultimately, well, okay, there's some horsemen
There's
on
some
the
more
other
horsemen.
side.
Looks like they were spread over the map.
Yes, so now he's gonna focus down the priestesses of Ra.
Yeah, I think these X-Men champions just
They're
didn't get a lot of
very
value because they couldn't use their splash damage. There really wasn't
yes.
any infantry. I mean, now he's making some longswordsmen.
Yeah, I think Carnage's understanding of this matchup is better than pretty much anyone at this point. He's played so much Celt versus Egypt that the compositions that he makes, while they might not seem to make much sense at the beginning, you will see how effective they are. Like when you saw him make so many horsemen, you would probably normally think that what kind of player makes horsemen?
Oh
And oh my
no!
god, wow, this move command is gonna be absolutely devastating for Zerton. Oh boy.
And-
Losing so many units there.
And Carnage currently has 21 horsemen. And where is the anti-cav for Zerton?
Yes.
He has these camels, but at this
You don't
time
want to make camels.
it may be a good
against
time to mix in
horsemen.
some spearmen. Even, what do you think about that?
Absolutely, I was gonna say that champion spearman who has priestesses of Ra with a heal upgrade is an excellent counter to Celtic horsemen.
There are these two triremes here to chip away at the army of Carnage.
Is he
So-
gonna kill them and help Zerton?
But Carnage is certainly looking very strong with this nice composition. He's getting the final H3 army upgrades, and Zerton is
Yes.
only missing this Pierce armor, a Pierce attack. So equal on the upgrades, but I think this is a wise move from Zerton to defend his base a little bit. In the
Finally
meantime,
getting up some fortresses. Yeah, this is very nice for Zerton, buying time with the camels and disrupting the economy of Carnage. So many walls. And yeah, this is a risky move by Carnage.
it's a
putting
classic
himself
Carnage
in that
move. He's
zone.
sitting at 75 villagers and to the 95 of Zerton, so he has a lot less villagers, but that also means he has 20 population more of army. So he just has this massive army. So he has to deal some damage with this army, or Zerton's economy will get out of hand. But
He will find a market line. Oh, he lost his market to the ratings of Zerton, but he is rebuilding. Say that, so it's okay for him. And now he's gonna kill the gold miners of Zerton, kill the villagers, kill the caravans.
there's 30 villagers over here. Some are escaping to the
Wow.
south, but it's
Yeah,
still 20 villagers that may have to run away. I guess over here there's still a gold mine.
can you check the armory for Zerton and also temple upgrades? Particularly the Temple of Ra.
So he has the healing upgrade,
Oh,
the
yeah, nice.
faster healing, and that's
Yeah,
it.
that's the most important one. Yep.
And in the meantime, Carnage is going H4, and look at all these camels that Zerton has been making. Kind of transitioning into camels as his way of countering these horsemen, maybe, or just to raid with, and successfully so.
Yeah,
This
I mean,
this army
yes.
on the side of the map is not really doing that much. It's killing the markets, and this economy for Carnage. Actually, some spearmen
when he
here.
reaches H4, he has the infrastructure for a very nice horseman carpentone transition. And while those camels are doing a lot of damage, I think once Carnage hits H4, he's gonna be in a pretty comfortable spot.
So Zerton actually lost a lot of villagers. He's now down to 62, to the 67 of Carnage. So we might be getting
Holy
into
moly.
another low villager game I'm not sure if you guys remember last week the game on Mountain Crossing where it was like 30 villagers against 30. We're going towards that scenario again. There's more villagers die here in this base for Zerton.
But
Carnage.
don't forget, Carnage is in H4, all
it-
immediately researching champion Carpentome. And Zerton, I don't see a temple atop on his base, and he is not H4, so it's like last game, except Carnage in a better, much better spot.
Oh my god, even more camels arrive at the base of Carnage. 66
You
villagers
can clean
still.
that up. You can clean that up, no problem. Horseman, a spearman even.
I think some spearman champion may be a good idea at this point because he is using them to defend, and that 25% bonus damage against cavalry really
On top of the huge multiplier they
because
already
they
have.
already have 3.5, it becomes like 4.2 or something, and it's
Yes, it becomes super duper amazing. Yeah, but Carnage is playing really well here. Look at the resources of Zerton. He's starved of food, he's starved of wood. Both of them are Mitt Romney at this stage, drowning in gold.
yep,
But
classic.
all the gold in the world, all the gold cannot help you if you don't have another resource to spend it. I mean, next to your gold, alongside your gold. But maybe he wants to do some mass priest. Let's see. I think overall Carnage is in a much better spot than Zerton here. He does have a 4th TC set up too. He does have champion Carpentomes. He does not have Gift of Sequana for the healing, so that's pretty big. Because, oh, look at this. I don't know how I feel about this. I think overall Carnage is gonna come out on top in this engagement.
I got certain. I mean, I don't blame you. You have the blurry screen, but easy win for Zerton here. Easy win.
Easy. But I mean, it's not bad. Those chariots are celebrating their victory against those bowmen.
But little do they know that is.
Not knowing. Yes, there's a bigger and better chariot rider unit following up those bowmen very soon.
But I mean, Carnage, he is sitting at 147 pop now. Still at 75 villagers though. He's getting lots of nice upgrades
Zerton is
though.
still H3. Zerton is still H3, do not forget that.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't think he's anywhere close to H4 still.
Yes.
He did get a nice market route. Actually, it's not very nice. Once he gets a 4 TC on the other side of the map, it's just these TCs in the middle of the map that just you can't get a nice market route that way.
Yeah, I think at the current state of the game, the 3rd TC must only be your market trade route destination and nothing else.
So in the
Because-
chat, GLO asks if they get to pick their perk cards. I think you mean the advisors. So this is champion mode, so there's no advisors or all this gear that you see at the bottom only provides the visual updates. So it's fair for all the players.
Yep.
There's even a
The gear
balance
is
team
only-
that balances the units. So it's every civilization is equally strong.
Wow, look at this! These Carpentomes, not only are they faster than these chariots, they just wreck them. Every volley is a bunch of dead chariot archers, so...
And they are not
Yeah,
cheap.
how does that feel now? How does that taste now, chariot archer? Enjoyed killing the bowmen, now eat my javelins.
So Zerton just has to keep replenishing this army. He doesn't have the best market line. It's 40 gold.
Wow, that's horrible.
It's starting to look worse and worse for him. He's not close to H4. The H4 army upgrades are starting to finish for Carnage. Oh, look at this army. 17 Carpenter champions, 10 horsemen.
That's Carnage's dream army. I think if you ask him later in a winner interview, if it comes to it, if you ask him his favorite composition in the entire game, I am 99% sure to tell you Horseman Carpet. And his units look so good. His Horseman and Carpenter with all that legendary gear. Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, exactly.
Such
Much
a
better than the
fast
naked
one.
units from Zerton. I guess Egypt doesn't have naked units.
No, he does have some epic here. Now these are Siege towers are trying to flank the base of Carnage, but he does come here and see this. One of Zerton's iconic moves that I haven't seen are the late game Palantonans that he sends across the map to snipe your markets. So I wonder if he's gonna do that any point in this series.
Yeah, that's a
But
good point.
those walls by Carnage, they are doing a great job at buying time. And once this fort goes down, all of these camels, the caravans are goners. They're never gonna reach that water bottle or whatever it is they're chasing. First with those donkeys and the carrots, now the camels and the water. But he needs to be careful, Carnage. He is taking some damage from the other side of the map, from Zerton's army, I mean.
Yeah, this is starting to become a really serious threat for Zerton. He added some more. He just rallied his units in the middle, and now he's in the market line for Carnage. And he has these rams, which have been completely uncontested, already killing one town center. On the other hand, look at
Yeah.
the bank for Carnage. He has 5,000 gold. He really should be getting some more champion upgrades. Where's the Wout Rider champion, the horseman champion? Where are the army
Yeah.
upgrades at?
They're alright. But losing those two TCs to the siege towers is I mean, it's starting to get chaotic here because he's running out of pop space to make something to defend against those units by Zerton. So Zerton is starting to crawl back into this game, I think.
And this kind of reminds me of last game where Carnage was pushing into Zerton's base, but Zerton just thought, no, I'm just gonna attack you. And then Carnage had to run back. He's having some trouble controlling his units, so it's taking him a while to come back to defend. I think he managed to save
Yeah.
his caravans though. Yeah, they're here. 39 caravans are here.
Damn, all those honey pots.
But Zerton is also not in a good spot. He has a 4 gold market line now.
This reminds me of the skirmish AI, to be honest. Have you noticed that they always make these terrible?
Okay, so he is improving on this. I guess the amount of caravans is more important. He has 15 caravans, so he will have a healthy caravan line in a bit once these markets finish. But it took him a long while after Carnage killed him, and now Carnage is spending his resources on getting these army upgrades. He's getting all the H4 army upgrades. He's cleaned up this force. Still at 72 villagers.
That siege tower, oh my god. The biggest value anybody has ever gotten from a siege tower are these ones. If that one is gonna that one is like the orc from the Helm's Deep scene, and in that TC it would have taken it down, but fortunately for Carnage, he managed to defend it. And actually, looking at the UI of the Kelt TC, it reminds me, what do you think about getting called to arms just for defending against, rams and other siege units?
I mean, in the
I think
very
it's
late
pretty
game,
good.
it may not even be a bad idea if you can
Yeah.
afford upgrades that cost like 8 times these resources.
Yeah, it's like 300 resources for 2.5 extra multiplier on your villagers against siege units. I mean, not siege units, but just general DPS increase. They take down rams a lot faster than other villagers. Maybe there should be an upgrade in the TC that gives all villagers bonus against rams, and we should call it I don't know, the Eerie Bane, maybe.
Sure.
Anti-proxy. Special tactics. Okay, so let's get back into the game.
I just remembered that this long game that they played on Mountain Crossing, they were playing the exact same civilizations as they are playing now.
Yes.
And the exact
Yeah.
same things were happening. There were just fights all around. The only difference here is that
Zerton is still on H4.
they're keeping their villagers alive. Yes. Zerton is max now. He's got lots of camels. Yes. Again, no defenses at all for Carnage. The upgrade lead for Carnage is starting to become extremely strong. Getting a horseman champion now. I mean, Zerton doesn't even have all the H3 army upgrades.
Yeah, so I mean, Zerton's doing a nice job just buying himself some time. He should probably buy some food with all that gold that he has.
And all the
Stop
39
being an
caravans are here in this screen right now.
Oh man, yeah. So much fire on this scene. So many half-dead buildings.
He's targeting the
But
town center, I think. No, he's not.
is he? No, he's not. But on the other side, Carnage is just ravaging the economy of Zerton. But he is falling behind on Spore a bit.
Yeah, Zerton is now down to 54 villagers. And Carnage managed to spend his resources. He's got all the nice upgrades. He's now got a really nice engagement here. These units are still going to be going.
Yep. All
Clean
that
this up
armor kicking
nicely.
in. Yeah, you should probably task one villager to repair the TC eventually, because one day that orc from Helm's Deep
Yeah,
will make his way from the
such a
siege work of
yeah,
certain kill the TC.
it's such a chaotic game. I feel like
It is.
how many stables does Carnage even have? He's making all this army from like 4 stables.
Just gonna mass stables.
Making some
Yes.
more now.
He did get champion horseman too. So
Yeah, he has a
that's very
beast
good.
army, but he's just. I think he's very close to winning this game, but if he's not careful, he's gonna let Zerton get back in this game. Zerton can afford a lot of forts now. He's doing a really nice job making these walls again, which will just slow down the Carpenton-based army from
I
Carnage.
just don't understand why he is not aging up. It's so important for him. Like, getting access to 200 population may be the most important here, but yeah, I don't know. But Troller getting champion horseman is very good here, giving the horseman snare. 50% snare is no joke. He can just slow down the army of Zerton, which is already slower than his army, thanks to the stable upgrades and champion carpentones.
Oh no, these units got through, and Zerton
Oh,
is not remaking his villagers. He's making them now, but he's still sitting at 50 villagers. It's looking like a
yikes.
very dangerous push. He wasn't able to make a lot more units, and some of his units are fighting in the front. Let's see, does he have anything to defend this? Not really. This market
How
line is
much
still
gold?
going. 13.
I'm serious, guys. Start a skirmish game, wait 10 minutes, then check the base of the AI. I bet you it's gonna have the exact same market placement as Zerton this game. So good.
So Carnage
But
is
yeah,
holding
look-
on here. He's pushing in here. I think this may be the game-ending push for Zerton. He does have a lot of static defense. Look at all these fortresses here. But he should
Lots
really
of
retest
forts.
this. All he has to do is click these caravans and click on the town center, and they would have gone to this these markets
Yeah,
that were
not
there.
anymore though.
Yeah.
Mhm. I think it's gonna be very hard for Carnage to lose the game at this point. Just having better units, more units, better upgrades. These camels are gonna try and do some raiding, but Carnage is already anticipating this from Zerton and already has horsemen in position, and they can just snare the camels there, and those camels are not gonna be able to run away, I think. The horsemen do have 50% snare right now, right? If you just look at their stats, they must have some.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh,
So
I would have really liked to see some druids or even some spearmen here to defend. Because Zerton has been playing with these camels for. He really likes those camels. Anyway, it
yep,
doesn't really
those
matter
are easy.
anymore.
Yeah. I mean, he is still age 3. With that
Still
much
H3.
bank, still age 3.
Yeah.
GG.
So the reason why he lost, you would say he should have gone H4 faster.
One thing, I think one factor would have been that having extra population cap. I don't know, maybe something, maybe spearman catapult even, or I don't know, just something other than he did. I'm not sure if chariot carpentome can really beat. Sorry, not chariot carpentome. Camel chariot can beat Horseman Carpentome that well, especially not without the H4 stable upgrade, which is really critical, I think. Also, Champion Chariot Archer, while the bonus against infantry on that tech is not very relevant in this particular situation, that extra 25% health is very, very good.
Right, I'm just going to update these stats a bit.
Sure.
So, how did you like the openings from these players? Going very heavy on the punts.
Yeah, that was interesting at the beginning. I think Carnage managed to get Zerton to overspend on water once again, like he. But eventually, it didn't matter because he did get some good trades, and then just snowballed from there, killing all the villagers of Zerton. Then the game just turned out into this slugfest, and because Zerton was already down an age when the whole slugfest began, it was in favor of Carnage, and he just got overwhelmed because of the extra upgrades, and just being in a lower tech tier.
Look at this. At one point in the game, Carnage had 52 idle villagers. I think that these were the 39 caravans and then some.
Yeah, some 13 more villagers, and that does it. I mean, 13 villagers being idle is okay. It happens, but that must be the caravans, yeah. There was this point where all the caravans were sitting on one screen, so...
Yeah, they were all sitting here. A very hectic, chaotic game. Overall, nice plays by Carnage, keeping his head cool and making sure he has enough gold, getting the upgrades, getting his dream army, and just wrecking havoc with it. As you can see, he did a bit better job, I think, with his units. Yeah, if you see here, he just killed a lot more units than Zerton did. He gathered a bit more. He got a lot more techs as well. 38 against the 24 for Zerton.
I mean, one thing that I would like to point out about the tech numbers for Egypt is that their age-up techs do not count toward the total tech count because the building get there, and also the fact that their armory upgrades their armor upgrades are combined. These two together make Egypt have less techs on paper, so there's that to consider. But overall,
Right,
yeah,
right.
like Carnage was in H4 already, had 4 armor upgrades above his opponent. He had the champion techs for both Horsemen and Carpentomes, and also the last stable tech. So all of those help count towards the
That's for sure.
tech count.
So you're hyped for this final game?
Yep, it's
It's going to be interesting.
the match of the century.
Yeah, so let's say I'm
Final.
going to take a small break. So if you guys have any questions for PF2K, leave them in chat and he can answer them. I will be
Yep,
right back.
I'm here. Sure. If anybody has any questions, guys, now is the time. GG. What happens to Egypt if they lose their tier 4 temple? Yes, if you so the way it works is that once Egypt builds their temple, um they automatically advance to the next age. And if you lose your temple after your age 4, it doesn't really matter. The ability to make priests of Ta. Any info about how Creed scores are calculated? So as far as I know, there's a bonus for clearing the map without losing any units. There's also a bonus for clearing the wave before the next wave spawns, and there's one more bonus that I can't quite remember, but that's it. Like, you wanna kill the opponent, I mean the AI, fast without losing any units. That's how you get the highest score.
So I'm back, and I also have some news.
Yep. What's up?
Zerton, because he lost the last game, he was tasked to pick the next map, and he could choose between Arabia and Equal Footing, and he decided to go for Arabia.
Ooh, spicy. That's the best thing ever, because we're gonna have a long game as the last game. Doesn't get better than that.
So for this decider game, the rule is that both players, they have to play a shift they haven't played before. So Carnage can
Persian
play
error.
Norse, Persia, and Babylon.
Actually, no. It's gonna be Persia versus Babylon. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
So we've played. I'm just trying to backtrack now. We've played 3 games because it's Carnage played Celts twice. He can also play Egypt actually. So he can play 4 shifts. He can play Norse, Persia, Babs, and Egypt because he played the Greeks on Mountain Crossing. He played Celts twice in a row. Right. And Zerton, he cannot play as Celts, he cannot play as Egypt, and he cannot play as Norse. Is that it?
I think so. Yes.
So I think we may see a Babylon mirror. What do you think?
No, I think Thriller is going for Persia.
So you think a Persia against Babylon?
Yeah, my prediction is that. Let's see if I was right. Oh, sorry, let me get caught up in the chat. Will the ability to view other cities come back? Yes, it will eventually come back, but we are not having that too high on our priorities list because it's a quite complicated issue. Because as you know, the Project Celeste server code is basically done from scratch. So there are these challenges, such as this one, because we don't really have access to how the actual original code for the game worked. So one of the things that we still haven't figured out completely yet is being able to visit other people's cities. And are there any 2v2 tournaments? Not yet, but it can be good if there's enough reception for it eventually at some point. And yeah, Feld is Kaban, right? I think it is.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Kaban, we did get a lot of donations today from BB Gambini, from Lacaume,
Something like that.
something like that, and also from Crimson, I believe. Yeah, it's on the screen actually. Yes. Why did the Egypt last king created no elephants? Are they like the only unit? They are like the only unit Egypt builds in legendaries. Yeah. So elephants in PvP are slower than they are in PvE. They have a 6 speed instead of the 9 that they have, and also
So that's a lot slower. Yeah.
yeah, it's a lot slower. And also horsemen and carpentomes. I mean, carpentomes are not so good against elephants, but horsemen really do well against elephants.
No, but actually, I agree with him. I think in almost every late game situation for Egypt, elephants are good because they are so pop efficient. They have an insane amount of health. Even if your opponent's army is very anti-cav, they will still be very valuable, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think if you get the champion upgrade for elephants, then basically the only thing Celt had against them in that game was horsemen. And yeah, they might have been good. Yeah, I mean, horsemen are good against. The champion tech for horsemen is pretty much built to destroy elephants. They um they get more pierce armor, so the supportive army of the elephants, which usually is the chariot archer, does not really do too good against them. They get 50% snare, so the elephants actually get down to 3 speed, which is slower than a goat when they get hit by the horsemen, and also they get splash damage protection, which is also one of the elephant's biggest strengths. And yeah, that's why
Very elaborate explanation. So I messed up the colors that
ah
I had already started the
okay.
game, but I put Zerton on the red and Carnage on the blue. It's a rookie mistake.
Rookie mistake, huh?
I mean, but who is hyped for Arabia? I mean, as you said, it's a perfect
I
final map
am.
for this.
It is. Absolutely. Chenla saying technically PvP is a legendary quest because it's the hardest thing in the game. Fight me. Yes, it is. If you play against someone of your own level, it's not the hardest thing, but it can be. It can. Actually, Hippicon have 400 HP per pop when champ. Yes, champion Hippicons are one of the most pop efficient units in the game. Excellent upgrade. And yeah, you're welcome, Sir Roller. I'll link the champion mode tech tree for you in the chat. So if you wish to know more about champion mode stats and upgrades that are slightly different between the two game modes, you can easily find it there for all civs. And yes, I know the Roman button doesn't work there, but it will eventually. Yeah, that's always a dilemma with Arabia because it spawns it spawns the actually maybe I should get Recon to switch these just for the sake of tournaments.
It's a good idea. So what P2K is
Yeah.
talking about is that usually on almost every map, the blue player is on the left side and the red player is on the right, but not on Arabia. So if you can see on the top, I've Zerton on the left, but he's actually kind of on the right side. So to some people, this is very
Yes.
triggering. So I apologize. It's Recon's fault. You know who to blame, not me.
No. This is not going to work if you use blame Recon. You all need to
I
spam
I already typed it. I already typed it.
praise Recon. Damn. You need to spam hashtag praise Recon for him to grace us with his skills and flip the position of the players in PvP mode for Arabia. Because for streaming, it's a big detriment.
I mean, we will
Yeah.
see who types more blame Recon or who types more praise Recon.
Yes. So we have Carnage on the bottom side of the map spawning as the red Persians, and we have Zerton as the blue Persians. Yeah, do the flip. We have Zerton spawning as the blue Persians on the top side of Arabia. We already see the difference between the two players' builds. Zerton going for the berries, Carnage being a bit more aggressive, getting the hunts, but he is not getting hunting dogs, so he's not being uber greedy. While on the other side, if we check Zerton's storehouse, he probably has Picker's Gloves research already, and look at this. Zerton is unaware of this barracks, and he is going for his going. I mean, Carnage is going for a barracks for a Spar Bar rush. I wonder if Zerton's gonna
He's gonna
see
circle
this in
back. Yeah, yeah,
time.
he's going back with the scout now.
Is he gonna see it though? Yes, if he keeps on going straight. Yes, he does. He is aware. This reminds me of a game I played against Bilski in the same matchup in the same map long, long ago, where he rushed me and I was almost dead. But let's not talk about that. Zerton's going for a completely greedy opening here, going for stone, but really, the only thing that would be bad for Carnage here right now is he loses the Barabaro battle, and he loses that barracks. Otherwise, he's completely fine. He forced his opponent to make Sparabaro of his own, and he was gathering from hunts all this time while his opponent invested in berries and the berry upgrade.
And he has a
Which,
second hunt to go to afterwards, which will be very
yeah,
soon. He should send a
exactly.
villager over already to build a storehouse, if he can. It's very nice
Yeah.
response by Zerton, immediately putting down a barracks of his own. He could
Does
even
he have
get
810?
A10, not yet.
No, 810.
But that's one thing he has in his favor, that he has A10. He's also going H2. So lucky scout there for Zerton. He's stealing some goats from Carnage side of the map.
Oh no, not the goats. Yeah, report Zerton for goat rustling, and this natural wall for Zerton is quite helpful for him. Does it end on the other end? Can he? I mean, Carnage escape from the other side? No, he cannot. He can run away, but yeah, there's the choke point. And yeah, he sees the Sparabara for Zerton and back, but it's still quite fine for him. If anything, I would think that this still puts Carnage on the offensive and lets him build a better TC than Zerton would. Yeah, he is sending those
Like here,
villagers. Yeah, look at that. That's a very, very juicy spot for a TC. Let's
or here.
see if he puts it on the top side or the bottom side.
Oh,
Yep.
this is absolutely perfect. Actually, Zerton is
Yes.
going for this spot.
Uh-huh. Is Carnage gonna see that?
I think
Oh,
he...
look at that! Look at that! The perfect move.
And where are
Oh,
the...
this is revenge. The revenge.
Oh no,
Oh my
he's hitting
god.
the town center. There's
Can he deny it? I don't think
five.
he can
I don't
deny
think he
it.
can
Let's
deny. He
see.
can hit the villagers. There's 5 against 5 here. He's hitting all these villagers, but none have died so far. He is delaying him a lot.
Yeah, so Spar Bar versus Spar Bar works in a way that in these situations you can just ignore the opponent. Just kill the
He
villagers.
actually killed
The
2
damage is
villagers
so
there.
low. That's very good for Carnage. Very, very good. Now he's circling around trying to hit one. And every second that he is delaying Zerton is really, really good for him.
I think at this point Zerton should get some more villagers here. Actually, it looks like Carnage is kind of giving up. I think there's some more damage he could be doing. Just target the villagers again. His town center is already up. He's sitting
Yeah.
at
Does
20
he have
villagers
Picker's
to the
gloves?
17 for Zerton. Zerton is
Yes.
housed as well. He's kind of falling apart, making
Getting
a
stable.
stables. He was
Yeah,
kind
you
of
see,
expecting
you
for
see.
that population sprays from his town center. Oh my god, that
Mm,
went so well for Carnage. So he's now up
yeah.
6 villagers. That's
Oh my god, in a mirror match, that's incredible. That's incredible for Carnage. And now he's getting a stable of his own. How is the stable doing for Zerton right now? Is it up yet? No, for
Sorry, yeah.
Zerton. Yeah, it is up, but no Asabara's out just yet. One thing that I would like to check is Picker's Gloves upgrade for Carnage because he started off on Hunts. Then he is okay, he did get it. Okay, very nice. Carnage being on top of his game. Uh who is rooting for Carnage? Who is rooting for Zerton? Type 1 for Zerton, type 2 for Carnage in the chat. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. And it's looking pretty good for Carnage here. Getting his TC up faster, being up in villagers.
Yeah, so
Very
Zerton
nice.
has to do something. I think Carnage is getting a lot of gold. He may be going to H3 quickly. Actually, he's building a lot of stables. So
Mass Asabar everywhere, man. Persia,
Zerton.
Mirror, Arabia, only Asabar.
So I think that both players will be going to H3 relatively quickly to go for that fast, stable play, mounted archer, Sabara combination. Already an armory
Yeah,
for Carnage. I mean, I know he likes his armories early, but
signature move. Yes,
7 minutes into
signature
the
move.
game,
I mean, he is ahead in villagers enough to be able to afford this, I would think. But personally, if in this situation, I would make Asabara all the time instead of having some mounted archers. Because if you have like an overwhelming number of bar, you can just go and attack the mounted archers and kill them. Because as you know, mounted archers and Asabaras counter each other. So if you can get into the face of the mounted archers, they're not gonna be very happy. They're gonna be dead.
so
And
I would like to take this
what's that
moment
building?
to tell our viewers that if you are not playing this game, it's a completely free to play game.
Mm-hmm.
Can't even pay for anything, so definitely check it out. Check the information in the description, whether you're watching on
Yep,
Twitch
just
or on YouTube.
click on the play now button below on the stream to get a link on how to install Project Celeste. Absolutely free to play, no pay to win for anything, even if you want it. So everything is 100% free, all the civilizations, all the content. And now Carnage is putting some pressure on the villagers of Zerton, but he needs to run away because those Asabaras are not going to be able to fight those Asabaras. The first one being Carnage's and the second one being Zerton's. He's running away, and neither player has 8 tent, right? I think 8 tent is good
Yeah, I
to
agree.
heal
I
them
was
up.
just about to say it would be a good idea for Zerton at this point to get A10. There's some low HP villagers from the damage done earlier.
Yeah.
These Spara Bar would get healed up, and also for Carnage, 50 villagers gets
Mm-hmm.
50 45. So Carnage had 5 villagers throughout this early game. He's getting his first army upgrade now.
Very good choice.
Actually, Zerton is
Asabaras are so
doing the
good.
same. Carnage also going to
Mm.
H3, so going for that mounted archer army.
I think if I was to predict, I would say that he is not going to make, but instead he's going to get our champion second melee damage upgrade and just get beastly Asabaras. But let's see, let's see.
So,
Neither player has the speed upgrade
so
damage
you
in
sorry, your voice cut away a bit there. You're saying you don't think he's going to make a lot of mounted archers, but he's going to focus mainly on Asabara.
champion Asabara and the second armor. I mean, second melee damage upgrade.
Right.
That would be my prediction, and
Well, it looks
that's
like
what I
these
would
armies
do.
are meeting in the middle of the map.
Neither player has their army on attack move, just moving around. But couple Asabaras slipped by for Zerton right there. So okay, Zerton. I mean, Carnage is aware of that, but he needs to be careful. He does no. Yeah, he needs to run back because he do not want to engage that. He is H3 now. Is Zerton H3?
No,
No,
didn't even start it
no.
yet. But actually, if you look at the villager count now, it's 56 for Carnage against the 54 for Zerton. So Zerton is slowly creeping back into this game. And
Well,
you are
that's
right.
partly because of the age time. It's partly because of H3
True.
taking the time of the TC for Carnage. But yeah, as you can see, Asabar champion. If you people can see, it's an incredible upgrade, increasing health, speed, and damage for the Asabar, which is basically pretty much everything you want for your unit. He needs to be careful. Zerton, I mean, he's pushing out with his Asabara, and he does not want to attack into the Asabara Carnage because in a few seconds they're going to be champion Asabara, and then when you have two of the same exact unit and one is simply better than the other one, you just can't win. Like, there's no way for you to win. But interestingly enough, Carnage did research barbed arrows, which is the first ranged attack upgrade. So I'm guessing he's gonna sprinkle in mounted archers eventually against my prediction. So I guess I lose that prediction, but so far he's ahead in this game, and I think he's in a pretty good spot.
He's making some watch posts across the map. He's getting some map control. No market yet from either player, which I would have expected some markets yet. Maybe we will see one soon. And also no walls. How do you feel about this?
Yeah, surprised about having no wall. This game is basically Cav Wars, and you want to make walls to delay the opponent from getting into your base with their Cav. And was that the first pierce damage upgrade that I saw?
Armor.
Carnage? Yeah, pierce armor, I mean. Okay.
So Zerton also H3 right now.
Okay, so time for...
so I guess that's also why he got the pierce armor. But
yes.
no mounted archers at all so far.
Oh, but Carnage needs to be careful. Yeah, he needs to run away now, and he needs to heal back. Heal his Sabara's back up. Did he get 810 finally?
No.
No.
Doesn't even have pickaxe. No.
Wow, okay, so these players are skipping on their eco upgrades a bit. And there's the market for Carnage. I hope that he eventually sends one of those villagers to make some walls. There are the walls for Zerton starting up, but those spearmen, are those spearmen? Yeah, I think I saw a couple.
Yeah, he has 5 spearmen in here.
Yeah, I mean, that may seem small, but it's a huge...
Yeah, they deal so much damage. And these Asabara are starting to get dangerously low. But what Carnage is doing really nicely is preventing Zerton from getting a market up while he's built them himself on the other side of the map. He's also maxed right now, and he could also go H4. He's keeping his resources balanced really nicely in a way that he could go for a pretty quick H4 if you want to.
Yikes. No. He needs to... Oh man, that's not gonna be good. He needs to run. He cannot fight against this. Even though he might have better upgrades, those spearmen with the 42 DPS that they have against cav units, they are going to be the end of his Asabar. But he does manage to find these villagers. So many villagers at single gold mine, and Zerton's not moving his units to defend. Now he is, but yeah, he is forced to run away with his villagers for a bit. But Carnage also needs to pay attention to his Asabar group because they don't want to get stuck. But can you check the villager count? I think Carnage killed a lot of villagers there.
He's sitting at 80 to the 57 for Zerton, so you're completely right.
Oh jeez, yes.
He sacrificed a lot of his Sabara, but he has a much stronger economy now, and he's also getting his market line going, and this is a very good market line. He's got the TC here at the bottom. It's 103 gold. There's even some more Sabara here in the back. Actually, Zerton now getting 810. So listening to our prayers, finally all these units getting saved. Look at this this building placement. I really like this defense of his wood line.
It is good, but I wonder how that's gonna affect his caravan trade later.
That's a good point.
Yes, but yeah, now Zerton's trying to move to the other side of the map. Having some... oh wait, he doesn't actually have any upgrades in his armor yet, except the first melee damage. But Carnage on top of his defense, having mounted archers to defend, and mounted archers are good at defending, much better than Asabaras are. And now he is chasing... Does he have the stable speed tech? He does. No, he does. He's getting it now.
He's just getting it now, and I think Zerton has the first one just.
Okay.
Zerton getting a second army upgrade. So slight army. Yeah, you're right. Sure.
Yeah, sure. Sorry about that. And Let's see. No markets for Zerton, right?
Just getting them now.
Yeah.
Carnage did a really good job in delaying them. What did I see there? I think these units just slipped by the wall on this side. So little does Carnage know, he doesn't need to kill this wall, he can just walk right here.
Have you tried right-clicking on the other side, sir?
I mean, he should know that there is no gates, and he should see it and think like, okay, maybe. But he's also pushing here on the
Yeah.
bottom. So multi-pronged
Yeah, very
attack
nice.
here by Carnage. He has the upgrade lead. Both players are completely maxed. I think, yeah, the army for Carnage is a bit more mounted archer based.
Those spearmen. Yes. Those spearmen are good, but not very good against mounted archers. Flank from the army of Zerton. He's gonna kill all of those mounted archers if Zerton does, and he runs away with most of them alive. On the other side, Zerton's defending this quite well, and Carnage needs to be kiting with his mounted archers on the left side. Managing to clean this up, and if Carnage doesn't kite back, he's gonna lose this army too. But I think he is.
I think Carnage is getting pretty nice trades here. Also because he has the upgrade lead, but also this kiting is... I mean, 10 mounted archers are still alive here.
Yeah.
If they're getting flanked like that.
Yeah, he is pulling back to his main base now to maybe regroup.
He's queued up a lot of army upgrades. He has a lot of resources as well. 2,000
Look
food
at
in the
that.
bank.
Yeah. Look at those soldier farms.
That's been a
Yeah,
while since I
just
heard the
amazing.
soldier. Oh my god. This
That's
poor
the-
villager
I mean-
has to walk all the way to here
Yeah. That resource gather rate is like 5 food per day.
without the upgrades.
Oh,
Yeah, Carnage
boy, yes.
could do a bit better job getting his upgrades, his economic upgrades.
Mhm.
Same goes
I
for
mean-
Zerton.
Yeah, so in the end, it doesn't matter if they're all both having bad, same as both having good upgrades, right?
True. And
Yeah.
Carnage going edge 4, pushing in at the same time. So what do you think is
Yeah.
the main thing that Carnage can get from going to edge 4?
Mounted Archer Champion, the final stable tech, and of course 200 max pop from the TC. Those are what he wants to be doing here at the.
Right. So mounted
Oh,
archer
extra.
champion,
Mm-hmm.
50% bonus damage against
Excellent.
cavalry, 50% less gold cost. And this final stable tech, horseshoes.
Yep. It's that last armory tech, I mean stable tech is actually super important when you're using the same exact units as your opponent. Were those some stray spar bars that I saw on your screen?
Yeah, they're gonna
Yeah.
cross the map.
Yeah, it's gonna be a while before they kill that wall. The third upgrade being researched. I mean, the second upgrade for the wall being researched by Carnage, having the maximum upgrade level for his walls. And I think he's in a pretty good spot right now, Carnage. Very good spot. As he hits H4.
Yeah, this building
see
is
what
kind of
upgrades he
working
does.
against him now. Yeah, you were right, this final stable tech he's getting right now. Overall, both
Yes,
players have quite a good market line.
They do.
So pretty well defended economies. Also the
One thing that I'd
spawn of
like
the
to-
map. Go ahead.
Yeah. One thing that I'd like to point out is that Zerton does not have any wall upgrades, and it's working against him because every time he moves away from Carnage sends some units and immediately kills the walls and moves in. While the opposite cannot be said for Zerton because those Parabaras, did they even do anything yet? Even
Alright.
if they reach the wall,
There's a
the,
suspicious Asabara over here.
yes, sir. We would like you to come to our, to
Come
our
with us.
station for some questions. Yeah. Can you explain to us why you were there at that exact spot and that exact time? We have 2 spar bars missing from our manifest of army units, and we would like to ask you some questions if that's alright with you. So, yeah, Carnage being in a really good spot in this game, ahead in upgrades. Once again, being one age above Zert.
Yeah, exactly. Now Zerton is
Having
also
the same
halfway to
advantages.
H4, so it's not the same as the last game where Zerton just couldn't get up to H4. But Carnage just has
Yeah.
this big lead. He has the army age 4 he's getting now.
Oh yes.
Zerton is
Yeah.
he still has 3
Catching up.
age 3 armory upgrades to do.
Just two.
Mounted archer champion.
Yeah, that's a good upgrade.
Final Pierce attack. So Carnage will have a big upgrade lead. They're both sitting at. I think they both just deleted a bunch of villagers. They were at 95 and now they're at 85.
Yeah, they probably deleted some villagers.
So do you think it's a good
Whichever,
idea for
honestly.
Zerton to now mix in some infantry again? He has the barracks. He could make some Sparrow Bar or Spearman to tank.
So my theory is for Persia Mirror, if you can force your opponent to fight you head on, you want to have the one pop units. You want to have Sparabara with shield wall. You want to have Takabara, and you would be surprised how well that composition does against Asabar and mounted archers. But in this game, since they're all just running around the map, I think they're more content using their stable units all the time. On smaller
46 mounted
maps,
archers here. They have all
damn,
the
especially
upgrades.
with the upgrades, yeah.
11.6
It's gonna
speed.
be hard.
Oh, this is a really good position as well, I think. Is
Yeah.
it? I'm not sure.
Well,
All these
maybe.
caravans
I
are.
mean, Zerton has a lot of mounted archers of his own, so
And there are some storehouses here to heal. Some
this
Asabara.
thing, yeah,
I don't know,
yeah.
the population for Zerton is dropping really hard. Look at the score as well. He's sitting at 130. This may just be the perfect time for Carnage to push in when he has the mounted archer champion against no mounted archer champion or horseshoes for
Yeah,
Zerton.
Horseshoe is just such a critical upgrade in Persia Mirror when you have all stable units.
I think even some caravans died there. Are there? Did all the caravans die?
I don't see
I
anything.
don't see
Yeah.
any left.
Can you just check the villager count, maybe even?
57 against the 86. So this is looking really good for Carnage. Even more dying here, and this is just an even trade he can get here. Is it
Yeah,
over
even
here?
trades are good. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, Carnage is just everywhere, and there's the GG. Zerton resigns. Carnage takes the series 3-2, and we have our new champion.
And it's Carnage. His first
It is
tournament win in Project Celeste, and it's well deserved. He's, I mean, for the last few months, playing quite a lot, practicing a lot, and very well played in this Persian Mirror.
Very well played. Well executed.
So GG to both players.
GG.
So, so what happened this game? So Carnage went for the sneaky Sparabara rush. Did not quite catch Zerton off guard, but then he had this move at the town center which just put him ahead, and I don't think he ever let go of that advantage during the game. If we look at the stats, we can see the current villagers that here, small disruption of Zerton's economy, and Carnage just ahead the entire game. Thanks for the cheer, Dalanast. So, in terms of resources gathered, he got 13,000 more.
Wow.
Few more techs, and killed a few more units as well. So, for all good trades, good micro by Carnage as well. Those multi-pronged attacks, kiting really nicely.
Yep. So whoever cheered for Carnage in the chat when I asked, now you see you won your bet. The German sensation, as it stands right now, is Carnage. So give it up for Carnage. And one thing that, if you could check right now, is the villager count when they both deleted their villagers. I want to see if they actually deleted anything.
Yeah, sure. I'm just talking with
Yes.
Carnage. If they deleted their villagers, yeah, I think at the very end they both went from 95 to 80. I think this is where they deleted.
Yeah. But yeah, you could see that the house placement was a bit detrimental for the caravans, especially because there's this natural forest or Zerton just at the top left of your screen right now. So they had to run around that wood line and then come through these houses, and it just delayed the caravans for Zerton just that little bit. And the Spaniard in the chat, what's up, man? You didn't show up for the co-casting, so I had to take your job. I hope you're not mad at me or, you know, or yourself even for not showing up. But yeah, very well done by Carnage. Finally coming back from that first loss.
Yeah, great job
Make it
by
back.
Spaniard. Let's quickly, because we may have a small winners interview going on here.
Oh, perfect.
Can you join me in the PvP Discord?
Yeah, let's go.
Hey man,
Yo,
Hello.
hello, hello.
Yo.
Congratulations. So
thanks.
we are joined by Carnage. You are live on stream. So it's the first time we will be doing a winners interview. I think we're also joined by Spaniard. Are you here?
Yes, I am.
Okay, let me
I
turn you
hear
down
you
a
now.
little bit.
Some dude. Can you hear me? Like, I don't even know if you can hear me.
Yeah, I can
Yeah,
hear you.
you're fine.
Okay, cool.
So congratulations. I think I'll hand it over to Spaniard for some interviews with our winners.
First and foremost, PF2K, to answer your question, I'm not mad at you, but yes, I am very mad at myself. Missed the last few matches here of co-casting, but y'all did an excellent job. So huge shout out to you guys. But Carnage, first and foremost, man. First of all, this is your first tournament win in Age of Empires Online Project Celeste. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's true. Sadly, but true. Yeah.
Hey, man, listen, it's been a long time coming, but it's well deserved. First and or second question is, what do you have to say to all the haters out there, all the doubters out there that doubted Carnage? What do you have to say to them?
I didn't even know there was someone doubting me. Like, I
Wow, that's a
no,
burn.
no, that's not even a burn. Like, you know, in all the streams lately, all the chats and Discord and in the stream chats, everybody has been saying that I'm playing good, and everybody's expecting me to win the tournament, like Greeky and Optimal Acorn and some other guys. So that kind of put a lot of pressure on me because it was kind of the first time that people were saying that I'm going to win the tournament. It used to be always, yeah, Zerton's going to win, or Mister's going to win, or Recon is going to win, and yeah, felt good that people believed in me for the first time, but also, yeah, pressure, man, so much pressure.
You did
Pressure
well.
indeed. Yeah, but you pulled it off. So walk us through Carnage, kind of that last game. How do you and just the overall last series with Zerton? What do you think the key moments were, and what do you think the points of victory were for you?
First key moment was the first game when I lost because I was really freaking mad about that. So I almost gave up on the series already in that game because I was really pissed. I was super pissed at this game because I felt like I was so ahead in this game. I played pretty well early. I got the dock up in his pond in the back of his base, and I made him overcommit on ships a little bit while getting my TC a lot faster than him. So I felt like, yeah, I'm really far ahead. And then I also got that juicy shot in the wood line on the villagers and killed some. And I felt like, yeah, I got this game in the bag. I felt so confident I'm going to win this game. And then I push and I get absolutely steamrolled. And yeah, I was really mad about that for throwing the game away like that. So yeah. And then
Nice job coming back.
yeah, and then the second game, I felt like I was ahead as well because correct me if I'm wrong, but I defended his spear rush kind of well. I killed some of his spearmen, then I had the spearman advantage in that game, and I denied both of his hunts while being on the water. So I felt like I was pretty ahead in that game as well, and then I'm being super retarded and just built my TC on the shoreline on the berries, and he comes in with that one ship and just denies my town center and kills a villager or two. And yeah, kind of screwed up in that game as well. So didn't look too good for me, but yeah, like thankfully I could come
Nicely
back.
done.
Thankfully.
Nicely done. Yep.
And then the third game, I don't even know if you want to hear this, that I'm talking about every game of the series, but
No, go
You
for it.
do.
yeah, but in the third game, that was the Egyptians against Celts. Yeah, didn't look too good for me as well because Zerton played this very well. He got control of most of the of the water on the map. There was like 4 ponds, I believe, and Zerton had like 3 of them. So he had the economical advantage, and he also made ships on all of those triremes on all of those ponds. So lots of map control for him. I don't even know what happened in that game, but I think I got a good engagement or something, and I could kind of get ahead in tech, and I went to H4 and I got all the good upgrades. And you know, when you're ahead in upgrades, then Horseman, Carpentome is just absolutely going to smash the composition that Zerton was going for. He was going only camels and a couple of chariot archers, and yeah, he played it well, but that composition just doesn't really stand a chance. And so luckily I could win this game and get back into the series. And then, well, last game, the Persian Mirror on Arabia was kind of, I don't know, kind of lucky for me, I guess. Like, I went for the Spar bars on Arabia because I had the hunt and he didn't. He was on the berries, so I could afford the barracks while he couldn't because he had to go for the picker's gloves, which cost 75 wood. So I thought I could just, you know, deny his town center on a good position and force him to make the town center in his main base or something. But he reacted with the barracks as well, which was probably a good choice. And then he kind of made the mistake of being too confident. He felt like, yeah, I got Sparabar as well now, so I can just build my town center outside of my base in a very aggressive position. And I was like, okay, he's probably going to build in his main base, but just in case, I'm just going to go check there. And then there was yeah, I was just like, I can't deny it in the main base anyways, because he has units as well and town center fire, so can't do anything else, so I'm just going to go there. And then he was really building the town center there, and that was kind of already game. I felt like I denied his town center for so long, and I killed, I believe, 2 villagers or 3. That was just massive. That was absolutely crucial in that game, and from there on I just played it down safely. I got a good eco and got my upgrades and went to H4 faster and just killed them. Yeah.
Nicely done.
Yeah, congratulations, Carnage. So the last question, my friend, is now that you have become the reigning tournament champion, how are you going to celebrate?
I don't know. I just wanted to go to sleep. Actually, I'm not going to celebrate. I'm not going to celebrate winning a tournament in Age of Empires. I mean, I love the game, but it's not really.
You're not gonna call your relatives?
Yeah, I'm not going to. Maybe I'm going to call my mom, and she's going to be so proud of me for winning that tournament.
Yeah.
She's probably just going to say I'm wasting my lifetime and I should stop playing stupid games. I'm too old for that. But yeah. But now that I'm the reigning champion, I'm officially retired. That was the last tournament that I participated.
Aww.
Nah, I'm joking.
Don't say that.
I'm joking.
Don't say that.
I'm gonna win the next one as well, of course.
Ooh, all right. There's the challenge issued by Carnage. You heard it here first. He's gonna win the next tournament as well.
Yeah.
So.
And I want Mister to play in that because I want to beat his ass.
Ooh, there it is.
I'll bring some pomade. That's a serious burn.
Calling out the Mister. Well, Carnage, congratulations, man. Well deserved. You've been playing like a man possessed all tournament and for a while now, so well deserved indeed. And
thanks, man.
Yep.
Thanks so much. Yeah, I really appreciate that. Thanks.
Yeah, just want to add to that. I very much agree. Well deserved. Been playing so much for the last few months, keeping the game alive, keeping it going. Sometimes, when not many people are playing, you were there asking for games, and now it pays off.
It's pretty simple. If not many people are playing, then that's basically because of Recon. So blame Recon.
Why?
That's right, folks.
Very much agree. Hashtag blame Recon in the chat, guys.
Okay, so
It's so harsh.
any more questions, or is this?
Yes, I have one question. What is your favorite unit composition in the game?
Like any matchup, like just my favorite unit composition.
If you had to make like, I don't know, 2 or 3 units in your army, what
But
would
from
that be?
from one civ, I can't mix up civs.
Any civ. No. One civ. Of course, you can't say immortal champion or I don't know, immortal carpentome. No, from one civ.
That would be pretty good. Oh my god, that's a tough question. I got to think about that. But
Just off the top of your head.
oh man, I really can't answer that, man. But yeah, I guess like if I can choose anything, then that's just Mass Elephant, man. Just Mass Elephant.
So I was wrong. I was betting that you would say Horseman Carpentone, but
No, I actually don't like that composition at all.
okay.
Interesting.
I don't like it. I don't like it at all because I don't think it's as strong as people think it is, and it always gets me kind of triggered, even when I use it, because people are gonna say, "Oh, he's gonna win because of Carpentomes," and yeah, I don't like it.
Fair enough.
I don't like it very much. It's just Mass Elephants, man. Like 30 of them.
Good. 120 pops. Let's go.
Let's go.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us in the winners interview.
Yep,
And
no
thank
problem.
you, Spaniard and Wout, for having me as a co-caster. It was really
Yep.
fun.
Thanks for casting, guys. You did a great job all tournament, and I think Lacum is, if that's how you pronounce his name, I don't even know. It's
Something like
but-
that.
Yeah, it's something like that. He will be pretty happy, I think, with how the tournament played out, because it went really smooth. Like there was no forfeits and no shows and no trouble and no whatever. It was a really nice tournament. It was fun.
Yep, that's true.
All right, guys. So thanks for having me, and good night.
All right,
Take
thanks,
care.
Carnage. See you.
Let's
See you.
see you guys. Right, I'm just going to end the stream and leave the call. Actually, let's just say with the three of us. I want to thank you as well, Spaniard, for stepping up the cast. There's always some fuel left in the tank, it seems. Very amazing, and I think you did a very great job. And also in terms of viewership, we had now, yeah, and the way you put in the effort to get the stream going and make everything look crisp, you really raised the bar there, man. So thanks a lot.
Well done. Well
Yeah.
done.
I appreciate it, guys. I really enjoy it. Thanks to PF2K for coming in clutch, kind of midday with that graphic instead of the crappy intermission screen that I had going. But no, it's been a lot of fun. This tournament's been great. So well played to all the players, and thanks to everyone for tuning in. I at least in the past year that I've really been involved in this scene, I think we've been averaging the most viewers that I've really seen on the Celeste channel. Again, at least in the past year. So I think that's great to see that the viewership is growing. So it's been a lot of fun. Appreciate you guys.
Yep.
Yeah, and hope to see you guys next tournament. So in terms of the prizes for this tournament, someone's asking in the chat. So Carnage walks away with 50 euros, and then there's some Empire points, 3,000 of them, 150,000 coins, and three legendary gear pieces of his choice. Right.
Correct.
So and
Yes.
there's some prizes for the second and third place, and for all participants. So check out the PvP Discord. There's some channels in there. Yeah, and thank you guys for watching. And unless you guys have anything else to say, I think one more thing. So Rohani is going to stream after this, so he's not quite opened the stream yet, but you should all go watch him after this for some more AOEO content, if it hasn't been enough for today.
Yeah. Can never be enough.
Never enough, indeed.
I think, well, it's never enough, but if it's ever enough, then you just blame Recon. And I think that's
Absolutely.
I think that's maybe a good note to end this stream on. Thank you guys for watching, and see you guys later.
Yeah, we'll see you guys later. Bye.
See you.